This is welcome to geez, what number is this? 18. This is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, number 18, live from a secret location out in the middle of the desert where it's hotter than
Hot.
hot. Yeah. It's Africa hot. You've heard of that term before, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're quite on that level.
We're not at Africa hot, but it's hot.
It's hot.
And we're doing some rally training. And this is Andrew Short, who's Rockstar Husky Factory Rally Racer.
Rockstar Energy.
Rockstar Energy.
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna. Factory Racing. Got that right. We were going to prep, but we were out rally training and it was hot and our brains are a little fried. So if we seem like we're a little bit, not all together today, that's completely normal.
Behind the scenes, we have Ricky Brabeck manning the cameras.
Yeah, he's kind of fried too because he's been trying to keep up with us. I laid down some pretty fast times today, I'm happy to say.
When you were off the road book?
Well, I built the road book and it wasn't that good. And then I made mistakes. And then I'm trying to figure out how you guys use ESP and figure out where to go. Because I used to have that, but I don't have it anymore. So,
Whatever.
Anyways, thanks for joining in. So what we're going to do tonight is I have a couple of questions that I'm going to try to remember that people asked me because I didn't do any show prep either for this, but I do have one thing that I'm going to I was told not to talk about this, but I might talk about it a little bit later because I got an email. It has to, it's a long story. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Hey, you know what? You know who I see on the post there, George? What's her name? Don't do it. Okay, got it. I got to figure out how to make this thing work here on my side. So, what was the one question I got to? There was another question. See, the problem is all my questions are usually on my phone, which is like recording us right now. And then my other phone is controlling the other thing we're recording on.
This is perfect.
And my computer is not being friendly right now. What do you mean it's perfect?
No, because it's going to be natural this way.
Yeah, okay. So we had Ricky on this. I'm looking. Oh, there we go. New comments. I got it working, I think. I got it working. It's better than... There we go. Look at that. Amazing. Okay. Are you going to tell us that you're putting on another hard enduro? Me? No, I'm not going to tell you that. Jameson, what rumors have you been hearing? Because I've been hearing some rumors too, but I don't know anything about me and hard enduros. Actually, I put some hard enduro sections in the road book today on accident. But your road book had hard enduro sections. We had to take them out.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is when we're doing this rally training stuff, part of the drills is actually making the road books, and so we have an application called Tulip that you can use. It uses Google Earth, and we can play around with the track logs. We can drop track logs in, and we can make routes. And Andrew has been really proactive in doing that, and he made a few routes, and I made a few routes where we're at. And the good thing when we train and practice that way is you learn a lot about how to get in the head of the guy who's making the map books. And when Andrew sent me over his, remember when you sent me your things, I said, yeah, you don't want to go through there because like everything in this area has like cactus.
A lot of cactus. Yeah.
A lot of cactus, a lot of pricks. But my arms look pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Yeah, I don't ride through the bushes, but there's also a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
And we had some river washes that kind of turned into more or less hard enduro thing. And somebody wants us to put WD-40 on the door hinges, Ricky. I want to talk to your dad about that. Somebody complained about the air conditioner noise too, because I mean we need that going no matter what. I wanted to shut it down, but we can't do that. And somebody wants to know who's Andrew. So Andrew, tell everybody who you are.
Who I am? Well, I'm 36 years old and I'm a motorcycle addict. I like to ride dirt bikes.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah.
So Andrew was a former KTM factory rider, motocross?
Yeah, for a little bit. 1 year just with KTM, but
Former Honda Motocross, and by motocross I mean motocross, supercross.
Yeah, so I rode for Factory Honda from 2005 through 2010. I was part of the program again later on in my career, 2016, 17 for like an ambassador, but testing role with the team. And so I've been with the Husqvarna team now. This will be my third year. I'm coming up on my third year. And I got hooked on off-road when I was done racing motocross and supercross. Obviously, that was my first passion, was motocross as a kid, and then later on supercross. And after that, I loved trail riding. So now to transition into this, and I discovered rally later on, which is the biggest passion I have right now. So I love dirt bikes. I love what it's all about. And for me, I feel very fortunate to wake up and live my dream.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you think, like after 180 kilometers in 108 degree today?
Yeah. No, for me, honestly, like sometimes when I used to race motocross, you would do the second motos or whatever, and it'd be so hot and humid, and it's different. Like you get cooked from the inside out.
Yeah.
Here in the desert, as long as you keep moving, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
The first time I did try rally, I was with Johnny Campbell with another team.
That was the gnarly desert test.
Yeah, and I about died. So after that, I bought a tracker.
You and 3 other guys.
Yeah, tracker, sat phone, all that stuff. So I learned from the heat and the desert to respect it. And so those are some of the things I carry with me trail riding now all the time, is my sat phone, my tracker, and I think more about where I'm going before I get out there and it's too late now.
So and a lot of the people I've worked with, and Andrew is probably one of the most prepared guys I've ever. He has a sheet with his medical emergency, all the important information on it, and like he opens up his little box that he has inside of his trailer, and all the stuff is super neatly organized.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm telling you, you look at my bike, and I mean, you just must look at it and think, what a jalopy. It's like, this guy ever washed his bike? And Andrew's bike is just like, it looks like it's ready for lineup for national.
No, I did notice your bike was pretty clean though when we got here, and it had new tires or newish tires.
Yeah, it's kind of prepped in a weird, strange way. And maybe then I don't really worry about the stickers because you're the one that has to look at it when I'm passing you.
Yeah. Full throttle.
I don't think I went full throttle.
That's the thing though, like motocross guys, they look all fancy and have all the nice stuff, but most of us can't ride. And then there's some desert dude that their stuff's falling apart and they just blow right by you. They got skills, so
yeah,
I don't know what to think. I'd rather have the skills and go fast.
You say we can't ride because you can ride. But the funny thing is like, and I just remember back from the old days when you had to paint your own helmet or put stickers on it or something like that. And now, I mean, you can buy your way into looking like factory. You can buy a factory edition motorcycle.
Yeah. And
you can get the same rider like a week later as the kit that you raced with at the National last week, and you can roll up to the thing in your brand new Tonka truck with your everything just rolled out and like factory easy up, and then you see the guy over on the on the novice track never cracking the throttle, and then I mean you get kind of all ranges of it and stuff like that, but it's amazing the ability to have the cool equipment and the good stuff. And
I think the industry needs all that, that dude that spends all the money with the power sport industry, those people are crucial, and they help out the local dealer or online retailer, whatever it is. But on the other end, you have the full enthusiast who just makes everything happen, so I think it's cool to see both sides.
And I've been lucky to be in the industry for so long to where, as a journalist, I was literally like a factory rider. And I felt spoiled sometimes, but I always remember my roots, where I came from. And I remember taking tires off and turning them around and spinning them the other way because I couldn't afford a new tire. And so, like, if I was going to practice on a tire, I'd take my race tires off and put practice tires on, and then like a race tire would get spun around the other way and raced again. And then it turned into a practice tire, and little things like that. And like so.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
For me,
as a spoiled motocross guy, when you change your oil, do you always change the oil filter with it?
No.
You just change the oil.
Like I get two or three oil changes, and then I do the filter. Yeah,
that is so weird to me.
Yeah,
I think maybe it's just motocross mentality, but every time I change the oil, I change the filter.
That's factory. That's full factory level, and at the highest level, that's probably the way you should do it. But at the same time, if nothing's going wrong in your motor,
Yeah.
and everything's good, then the filter hasn't done anything. It's just passing oil through it because
Yeah.
there's not really any contaminants.
Do you ever
in there.
use the metal filters?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I always use the paper ones.
Yeah,
the
so
production ones.
so this is a good question. See,
Yeah.
you're allowed to ask me questions.
But this
too.
is something that
This is-
motocross guys, I swear to you, everybody I know always changes the oil filter. But maybe we're just spoiled.
It's not spoiled. It's probably the best way to do it. And to change your oil often and
Yeah.
to change your filter often is
Okay, so how many hours do you change your oil? On a 450 or 500, like an
For-
EXE or a 450? Off-road. We're not talking motocross.
yeah off road.
Because when I raced motocross, I would ride literally like 1 or 2 days. My mechanic would change the oil.
So you can go on the early side,
Which is how many hours?
The early side would be what the manual tells you.
15 hours. Like if you're a KTM
Like
or
I
Husky.
think like the Yamaha is 12. I remember looking at the app lately, but it's like 12, and I think I've seen as low as 8 in a manual, and I've seen up to like 15 or 14, 15, and then
So at 15 hours, you're only changing the oil. You're not doing a filter.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Ricky? How many hours before you change the oil?
Play riding.
On your X or your L or whatever, your off-road bike.
Play riding, like 6 hours. Normally, like
6 hours?
2 or 3 rides.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
Dude, I
riding,
go like every 10 hours.
hey, if you're riding it hard and you have an oil sponsor, I would absolutely do it like that.
Yeah.
But
oh, dude,
like,
then your oil bucket's full all the time.
Smudge pot.
shh, no, not Spudge Pot. Just like you take it to the green
Oh,
recycle place. Yeah. But anyways, I go. So here's the funny thing is like I look at the color of the oil inside the motor.
Yeah.
Like because I have the view screen on most of my
Yeah.
KTM's or something. Or if I don't, I'll take the oil cap after the bike's been running a little bit. I'll take the filler cap off and I'll just like put it on a paper towel and look
Yeah.
at it. Sometimes I'll take it and I'll feel it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I even saw a kid that does this thing called called Torture Test Magazine or something like that, and he actually sent oil samples from some bike he basically bought a bike, he was just going to ride it until it died, and he was sending the oil samples in, and he was like putting ridiculous amounts of time in this thing, and the oil was still actually pretty good.
Doing
And
a
it's
job.
funny because this is probably like the 5th show in a row where we've had some oil
Yeah.
question, viscosity.
Tires are the same way, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
everyone has the perfect tire that
and,
they like.
and so I need to get one of my friends who's a petroleum engineer in here to answer these kind of questions in a professional level. But you see my fleet of crap. Really good bikes that I have.
Yeah. You have a lot of
do
bikes.
they ever break? Have you ever seen them break?
Well, I never see you riding them.
What do you mean?
You're always on your route. Like when I'm.
Oh, yeah,
You
'cause you're
always
only-
ride the same bike.
Yeah. So that's my quote rally 500. Yeah, but I have a trail riding 500. I have a trail riding 350,
Yeah.
and then I have
you
all
have
these
a
rental
lot
bikes.
of bikes.
They all work. And they all run for the most part. They need a little bit of maintenance. No, they need a little bit of maintenance every once in a
that
while.
many bikes, sure.
So I've always done this, but so I'll just kind of it's more like a feeling than it is actually a time
Yeah.
level, and I write on the cases with a little felt tip marker like the date and if they have an hour meter on
Yeah.
hours when the oil's been changed, so I can kind of keep track of it.
What if a bike's been sitting? Like I have a bike that's been sitting for 2 years, and me and my wife, we might go to the mountains this summer. And it doesn't have much time on it. I think it only has like 2 or 3 hours on it. But it's been 2 years. You change the oil?
I don't think you need to. Sometimes it can in moist environments it can attract
Yeah.
water and stuff like that. If it hasn't been run the very first time you run it, and if there's contamination and
Okay,
stuff in
so
there,
what about
it'll clean it out.
about your oil that you've had sitting on the shelf? And you're like, man, I gotta change the oil, but this oil's been sitting here for 10 years.
I think it's
Still
fine.
good?
I'd run it.
Just shake it up.
I'd
and
totally
dump
run it.
in there, or
Yeah,
what?
Shake well.
Shake it up. Yeah, shake it up and run it.
Huh.
I'm sure somebody. Sam Felipe Bob says he would smell the oil.
Yeah.
And you burnt me, so you get a compliment for that. Evidently, somehow or another. I don't know how you. Let's see. Oil viscosity can change a lot by how hard you are cranking the engine. You guys are
Yeah.
pros.
Yeah, sure. Like if you go ride in the sand.
If you're like on the clutch, okay. So here's how you kill your oil. Use the clutch. Just slip the crap out of the clutch, and that'll destroy your oil.
Yeah.
But don't run at a higher RPM, stuff like that. So no, that's a really good question. It's kind of interesting. if you have the money, if you have the oil, if you have the filters, the more you change it, it's not going to hurt anything to change it too much
Yeah.
unless you don't tighten the drain plug.
Okay, so what else if your bike's been sitting there for 2 years? What do you have to check? Because
Carburetor.
they're fuel
Air-
injected.
The air filter dries out.
Yeah, because the oil always
It drips down, so the air filter will dry out. Sometimes
drain the gas.
Yeah, the gas,
Gas,
in a plastic container,
filter, oil.
in a plastic container, any sort of plastic container, the gas permeates. It loses octane.
Yeah.
It's not any good, especially if it's a clear tank. Where you can see the opaque tank. That's even worse. But gas goes bad. But
The rest should be good, huh?
yeah, I think the bike's fine. If it hasn't been moved, I think moving it would move the grease around a little bit again, but maybe grease some stuff. But bikes are pretty good these days.
What do you do with your bikes before? Like you have so many bikes sitting there. I guess most of them get ridden quite often.
They get used, in the cooler months, they get used twice a month.
Yeah.
Or at least started up. Even if we pull them all out, we start them up before every class. Make sure that helps run some gas through them. And if one of them's finicky, we take it and run it up and down the road. To put a little gas through it and stuff like that. So
A cooler month?
the cooler months.
Like during the winter.
That's not like a cooler that you keep your suds in. Which, by the way, I have a suds right now. Andrew you were gonna make a
I have Rockstars.
kombucha. Where?
Oh, well, they're in the trailer.
Kombucha.
Probably 110 degrees right now.
Kombucha margarita.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what it's called?
Margarita.
Yeah.
Love me
It's-
a margarita.
if that's only if you're cheating, but we're training right now. It's full super gnarly training regimen. It's almost like Baker's Factory, except completely different.
A little more intense.
A little more intense here.
Yeah, I got a regimen. It's called the Jimbo program. And if you don't know about it, Johnny Campbell knows about the Jimbo program. Because he lived with me when I was on this program.
I've heard about it.
I designed it myself.
Pizza and beer.
It's
Top ramen and ketchup, bud.
It's
Oh.
eat whatever you want. That's my training program, and it really revolves around the fact that your body is a human garbage disposal, and because when you're on rallies, you can't really. I mean, you guys it's different now a little bit, but you can't control the food you're going to get,
No.
right? So sometimes, and I know these guys that trained to a high level and they ate special food, and I couldn't wait for them to just roll out some like in the middle of Africa in like Agadez, they roll out a seafood platter. I'm like, yes, tomorrow I'm going to win. Because like these guys, they that had special food and stuff. Sometimes you're on a marathon stage, you don't get your special food, and they would start detonating. And I was used to running on 87 octane, so
Yeah.
what a load of crap.
That stuff stresses me out.
So yeah, I mean, coming from a, and that's interesting for me, to see the level that you motocross guys were training at and the fitness level, because it's insane.
Yeah.
But it's a controlled environment. You can how long you're going to race for.
Yeah.
You have an idea what the temperature is going to be. You're going to get your food at your times and all that stuff. Like on the rally, sometimes you don't know if you're going to eat a lunch or not, or what the food. Like I said, if they rolled the seafood platter out, I got scared, but I always knew I could go around the back of the truck that served the food, and the guy would give me a big plate of pasta, and I would go get the little ketchups and tear them open and
Ketchup to
blow on
jam.
top. That was you're just looking for energy at that
Yeah.
point. It's just like I need to eat.
Yeah.
So
The best part about rally is you don't know what's around the next turn, and it could be during the race, it could be transferring back, and
Could be the bivouac.
yeah, it could be the bivouac. But you
Bivouac.
come around the turn, and there's some lady standing there with the organization with a stack of papers saying, "Okay, this is how you get back," and it's you just make it happen.
yeah,
Adapt.
rally life.
Rally.
Life. So that's what we're doing even today with our map books, because so Andrew made, like, I didn't get to ride it because I was sitting in the truck. I was what do we call it? What do I do when I sit in the truck? I surf the internet for like
I don't know
whatever.
what you do.
Yeah. Well, so
We're not there.
I watch trackers and make sure you guys are moving.
Spot buddy.
But you guys came back and you're like, oh, it was the best stage ever. It was so good, Jimmy. You got to go ride it. And I'm like, oh. And I was all amped to go because I wanted to ride the one that I
You were
worked
dressed
on.
and ready.
I was ready to go. Well, I got dressed. That's what I did while you guys were out riding. And I was waiting for George and Mitch to come, because they're going to drive and help us transport trucks. And I was worried about them because they're snowflakes and they're riding across the desert on their dual sport bikes.
Having
And
fun.
they could die. at any moment because they're old people. And
No love.
They showed up with a watermelon.
yeah, but they took the truck to the store and got the watermelon on the way home. That's how they didn't ride from
This is how
front
they hydrate.
with a watermelon. That's dessert, by the way. Because I would get big ice creams and stuff. Jimbo program allows for ice cream with the sprinkles on it. But this one we're gonna do watermelon. But so they came back and they said this is the best road book ever, and I'm like, okay, let's do mine because mine's gonna be super awesome. And then it like went through fences, and then there was areas that had been changed, and the roads weren't there, and then
It's tough to build that stuff.
I made a mistake, like where we were doing some. I didn't do what I said. Like I didn't do what the road book told me to do, and then what about the one on the way back in? The one that you made that completely I went left the wrong way out of the gas station.
Oh yeah.
So I'm still learning, and I'm supposed to be a professional. So good times. Anyways, let's roll through and see if we got any questions here that we can answer.
Yes.
Let's see. Everybody hopes that I'm going to still put on another hard enduro. Andrew, if I put on a King of the Motos, would you ride it?
No. Hey,
What?
let's talk about Extreme Enduro, like the series that got canceled, and then
The
Pinard.
Enduro Cross.
Yeah,
Eric
somebody else.
Eric Pinard will probably bring that back. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
'cause
they announced 3 rounds, right?
Yeah, Eric invented Enduro Cross. I mean,
Yeah.
brought Enduro Cross to the United States.
Yeah.
And did a really good job with it. And you know from the motocross side because he was bringing American riders over to Bercy, and as a promoter, he's I think one of the best
Yeah.
because he seems like most promoters are just trying to figure out how to line their pockets with gold and then stuff money inside of it. And like it seemed like Eric was always trying to make it good for everybody.
Yeah, he
you know?
does. He's a good guy.
And so he brought he when he saw Enduro Cross or Enduro, I don't even know what they call it, whatever they
Super
call
Enduro or
it in
something like
Europe. It was they were. But he brought it over here, and he did the one at the Orleans, and I was lucky enough to race one of the first ones. I think I raced the first one, and I loved it, but I was too old at that point to really try anything. But so he built that series to what it was, and then he actually sold it to the company that I used to work for when I was at Dirt Rider Magazine.
Yeah.
They kind of bought it and they took it over, and then they
Just recently sold it. And
slowly, they like anything. They're like, look at how much money we're going to make, all this money, we're going to make it bigger. And then all of a sudden, since we can't make Dirt Rider Enduro Cross magazine, all of a sudden they blame me for the shrink of Enduro Cross, which is basically they cut costs and cut staff and just typical business. And it went down, and they always kind of had Eric and his team there to kind of bring it around. And then it got sold again, and all of a sudden Eric wasn't involved, and you kind of saw where that went. But then it disappeared, or they canceled at the last minute, which is a shame because I think that that's like Supercross for off-road people.
Yeah.
And if you have never been to an Enduro Cross, you need to go watch one because it's like taking all the gnarly stuff from like at a GNCC or
It's just action packed, right? And you see people on the limit.
There's crazy stuff all the time, but you get to see that, and you get to watch the best riders in the world do stuff, and they make it look easy. I always thought they needed to have just 2 amateurs come out first lap, before the show starts. Like have 2 amateurs just come out and ride around it because they're like your buddy Bob and Steve.
Yeah.
And let Bob and Steve go ride it to show you how gnarly this course is. And they would bring out like an amateur class, and it kind of exemplified it. But the problem with the top riders now at Enduro Cross, like Supercross, when was the last time you saw a top rider roll the triple?
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen.
They go out on the parade lap or on the show lap, and the first thing they do is huck it. So it's the same thing with the Enduro Cross obstacles. And now those guys, the way that they train, if you let them ride around something once or maybe twice, they learn it. They'll track walk it. They'll say, "Oh, my tire's going to hit here. I'm going to bounce there and go there." So in some ways, I think they need to make the tracks harder, but then
I think like they have this awesome series, and it sounds like Pinard and those guys are going to put on 3 rounds. And people ask you about a hard enduro if you're going to put on. It'd be cool if they could do like 3 rounds indoors and maybe do 3 rounds outdoors. They had the Last Dog Standing last week, and I know it's not the same organizer or something, but
it's a District 37 club that puts on a really awesome event, and they actually had
it'd be cool to see both, like have those riders, like Colton, he could crush it indoors, and then you'd have to work a little bit more for this stuff on the outdoors, or vice versa.
And Cody does everything well.
Yeah,
He's super well rounded, and it was
I don't know. It'd be cool to see for that because there's a need for it. If people are asking you if you're going to put it on, people sound like it.
Most of the guys that are asking me are like amateur riders that were the real fans of King of the Motos, and there's this very small but super core group of riders that like to do this extreme enduro stuff because it's hard on your equipment. You've got to practice it, and these guys get excited when they DNF, and most because they're like, I went this far, and they want that race to be so hard. And that was my goal when I put on the race. It's like, I want to have one finisher. I want to have one finisher cross the finish line, keel over, and die. Yeah. That was the way
you achieved that, right?
I kind of
pretty much
almost did. Yeah, pretty close. But it was like, I want you to be, when you're finished, I want you to be finished. I want there to be nothing left and no one else can finish it. And then that was the, kind of ultimate goal. And I got to ride some extreme enduros that were built like that when I was younger. And
like what?
The Gilles Lillet Classic, which is one of the very early extreme enduros. And I've done
similar to like Erzberg today.
It makes Erzberg look easy.
Wow.
And Erzberg is getting tougher. They're making it tough because the riders get so much better. But back in the old days, the 2 years I did the Gilles Lillet Classic, I think they had 3 and 4 finishers. 3 one year and 4 the next. And I missed the cutoff on the year. And if I would have made one more CP, like the 14 of us got pulled off at CP, and the 4 guys that went in front of us all finished. I'm like, I was so close. But I was stuck in a bog for an hour now. Yeah. Like literally, like in a bog, like up to here. And Pete Moss and a little French lady hiked down the hill and helped me extract my bike. But those gnarly, the gnarly, and then the last one I ever did was Romaniacs. Was the last one I really did. It showed me that I no longer have the ability or a skill level to ride extreme enduro at the top level. And this is when Jarvis was coming up and Chris Birch was winning it, and these guys were they were on a different planet as far as I was concerned because they had this super strong trials background, amazing bike control, and were able to just do stuff. And if you weren't one of the first guys there, and this is when people would come out of the forest and help a lot, and if you were kind of behind the lead pack, the people in the forest would disappear and go to the next section, and you and your 6 other guys are tugging your bike up, all the other riders. So it's times have changed. Extreme enduro's changed. They had to limit a lot of the spectator help, and
King of the Motos for dirt bikes, it's sailed, or where's that at?
The for the most part, the ship has sailed. It's always in the back of my head. I mean, I don't know how I can make a better one than the last one I did. I have ways to make it better, but I was really concerned about safety. I wanted to make that I wanted to make it a super tough race, but I also wanted to be safe from a spectator and a rider standpoint. And we just had so many spectators, and it was kind of crazy. So I just felt it was. For me, it was time at least. I don't know, but these guys still want the stuff back. So, okay, we're gonna quit talking about my crap. We're gonna talk about your stuff. Let's see what we hear. Are you guys riding through the heat of the day? Early morning starts before the heat. Well, Jesse, we are trying, but I'm not good at cracking the whip on these guys. They're up early. I'm not kidding you. Like Ricky was rolling at 4 this morning. Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
I wake up at 5 and we left at 6:15.
You're at 5. Yeah, you're at 5 and you woke me up. So they rode in the we did ride in the heat because it was 108 when we got back down here.
Yeah,
it was solid.
More or less, we were done by 2:30 or something.
Somebody wants to know? Did Andrew at least take a shower before this? Well, I'm sitting next to him and he's taken more showers than I have because I just went swimming. So. Let's see. Did you guys ride with jackets all day? They have special jackets. Talk about your jackets.
The rally jackets. Ours are vented and everything's purpose built. So in your pockets, basically they build pockets for everything you carry. So earlier I mentioned I carry a tracker, sat phone. I carry a little plastic Ziploc bag full of all kinds of stuff from a Camelback, the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
In case I lose that. Rubber glove.
Medical stuff.
Yeah, I have medical stuff on the front of my bike
that's
now.
Where it's at,
yeah, but Leatherman tools, all that stuff. I try to carry it with me, and I carry some food and whatnot. But your phone, we have a place for a passport and all that for when we race. So yeah.
Passport. Why would you need a passport when you ride a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Let's see.
My passport's gone right now. Actually, hopefully I get my visa for Russia soon.
Oh yeah. So
Taking a lot
where's
longer.
where's your next race? That's one that I always wanted to do.
Yeah, Russia, Mongolia, China, the Silkway Rally. It starts the beginning of July, and I'm excited to go. Hopefully, I get the visa stuff figured out
Yeah.
before then.
I've heard. I remember Heinz Kindergarten told me, he's like, Jimmy, you must come and race Mongolia. I'm like, why? And he goes, all grass, no stones. So he's basically saying that's the way to say in Austrian, giant golf course.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I want to do that.
Sign me up.
Yeah, but it was difficult back then. It was tougher.
Hey, there's like two people I've never like. I knew Heinz was a bad dude, but I didn't know that much. You know about him?
Yeah.
So with Rally, him and Alfie Cox. I never knew as a motocross guy. I never knew who Alfie Cox was.
Yeah.
And I saw him in Morocco riding. I guess he's like a legend.
Yeah. So Alfie was
You know,
racing at the same time.
Crazy dude.
Same time as me. No, not crazy. He was fast. He came over and raced in the United States. Did some Baja racing and stuff.
Yeah.
Just to get faster. And I had a really good relationship with Alfie, but Alfie could and he probably kill me if I say this out loud, but I'm going to. Alfie could not navigate his way out of a lunchbox.
Really?
Oh, he was horrible at navigation.
But really fast.
He would pin it. He was good at pinning. He was a fast motorcycle rider. But it's like and everybody knew it because he was one of those guys that could chase. He could chase from behind and win stages easy. And if Alfie had like a day where he got 6th or 7th, he was super primed to win the stage the next day because he would catch up. And he was really good at it. But in the longer stages, you end up packing up. You end up riding in a group.
Yeah.
Everybody groups up. And I remember it was like kind of a known thing amongst the riders. Like if Alfie caught, you knew he was going to. So all the riders were he would sit on him, but everybody would slow down. Everybody wanted Alfie to lead. Yeah. And they'd let him go because they knew you'd make a mistake. And then everybody tried to ditch
Crazy
off.
dude, though.
Yeah. But no,
what
super good guy. Yeah. Let's see. Ask Andrew what he has the dinner before the race, please.
If I race motocross, I would eat something just normal protein, some vegetables, and some carbs like brown rice or whatnot. Really plain and exactly what Jimmy would say. Really cookie cutter for motocross because I didn't want to have an upset stomach, and I'd eat really plain like in terms of seasoning and all that. But now with rally, it's like you just eat whatever you're presented with. So I think if you're looking for advice on food and fitness, there's so many articles that can guide you, but you got to trust your body on what you feel best in terms of performance, and just be smart and don't get too crazy with it.
Yeah, you have to learn
how your body responds.
And
don't change anything too crazy for race day. But for rally, it's whatever.
Not as strict, basically.
Yeah, like this morning I had oatmeal with some almond butter and some fruit and some eggs. Jimmy had nothing.
I had a Kate's bar.
He's a camel.
I had a Kate's bar.
Yeah.
I had a Kate's bar, and then I had pizza for dinner. Pizza for dinner.
Yeah.
It was a cheat pizza. Let's see. Any advice for deep sand on big bikes? Seems like at slower speeds, sitting down is better because of lower center of gravity as a B rider. Ooh.
I'd say momentum is key. I would be terrified on 1190 in the sand myself.
Yeah, I am too. I ride them all the time. You have to respect that bike because it outweighs you by twice.
Yeah.
So you can throw every bit of your muscles at that bike. If it's going the wrong way, you still lose. Yeah. So, Kip, I'm gonna switch over to riding coach thing. You want to make sure that you're balanced when you're in the sand. And you want
what do you mean by balance? Like further back?
No. Balance on your feet.
Neutral.
No, neutral. Balanced on your feet. You don't think we think about it, when you're riding the sand, you don't really get back. You fold down a little bit because of how fast you're going, but you don't actually get back and hang off the back of the bike.
Oh yeah, all the time.
What?
Keep the front end light. But me on 1190.
No, how do you keep the front end light? You keep the front end light with the throttle.
Yeah, but I also get back.
Yeah, it's more for you guys. It's more about aerodynamics and stabilizing and bracing for the impact when it kind of comes out of nowhere.
And you can see.
Yeah.
But on 1190, I don't know if I'd want to get back. That's why
you don't want to get back. You don't want to go that fast. That if you have to get back on your 1190, you're going way too fast
because it's going to go in and just throw you over.
It's like because when you go back, you're like a pendulum, and when you start swinging, if it kicks like that, you're adding to that pendulum effect. Because you think about it, when you guys are just riding through the sand, and he's talking about B level riders.
Yeah, so average dude.
You got to imagine when you're just cruising through the sand. Are you back at all?
No.
There's the answer right there. No. You're standing up. You're neutral, relaxed. You're steering the bike with your feet.
But he says sitting down's better. I wouldn't want to stand up if I wasn't going very fast. I would sit down. I'd almost put my skis out if I was on the
No,
yes, dude, that's terrifying.
No, you stand up and ride slow. That's why he's not a riding coach. Andrew, you're riding. You're gonna take.
I'd be terrified on 1190 in the sand.
So you're gonna take George's 1190. It's almost a husky. So you're gonna take George's 1190, and you're gonna ride it down to where that place we were just at. I'm not gonna say where we're at. You're gonna ride down and just ride into that sand. And if you put your rudders out, we call it putting the rudders out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to fire you.
Oh man.
No, you can just trials ride it through the sand. They don't get stuck. They're amazing if you just respect the traction. Most people give it too much power and they expect
okay. So explain the throttle because dude, those things are fast. I had one for a while in 2013. I told you this. And those things are wicked fast.
You said you were jumping it. I don't.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. So really in anytime you're riding, especially when you're riding a big bike, you want to be standing on the foot pegs because that way all your weight is available to control the motorcycle through the foot pegs. The minute you sit down, you're adding your weight to the bike. And so when it starts doing something bad, guess what? You're doing something bad. And for most people, they feel more comfortable when they sit down because they can put their legs out. And we don't ride with our legs out. When do you put your legs out when you're riding? When you're out of control, right?
When I'm scared.
Yeah. So don't.
Like on an 1190 in sand.
Andrew, somehow you're reinforcing all of my techniques, all my teaching techniques. I actually could go on a full tirade about this right now because of an email I got today from. I'll talk about it some other time. Somebody remind me to talk about that. About
and I assume brakes, like you don't get on the front brake in the sand on an 1190.
100% of your braking power is in the front brake.
In the sand,
the rear brake is for control.
Go like this. It's just gonna knife on you.
Don't.
The forks are too soft. A lot of it depends on this guy's suspension. Has he had suspension done, and does he have good tires?
Just be delicate on the front brake. It's still going to a little bit of front brake will slow you down 100% better than a lot.
For sure, he needs to turn the ABS off or whatever.
Yes, traction control, ABS, turn it off. Yeah. Hey, Kip, are we answering your question? Because we're just going to go into argument zone here. But
Kip, if I were you, I would not take the 1190 in the sand.
Good, just get some good tires. Come out to my class. I do demos all the time where I'm like riding around.
Lots of sand.
I'm like riding around in the sand with one hand on my 1190. And
I got some advice for you, Kip. Put your tent on your bike. Go ride a nice, beautiful road wherever you want.
In the Colorado mountains.
In the Colorado, that's where I would go. Camp, enjoy that thing for what it's built for, not the sand. Stay away from the sand.
It's fine. You can ride them all. I'll ride them all day in the sand.
I guess it depends. Are we talking Dumont Dunes or are we talking like just a sandy road?
I'd rather ride it in Dumont than a sandy road because like you can go anywhere in Dumont. You know, because the sandy road when you're confined, and all of a sudden that bike wants to go off the road or something like that, they don't turn very. I mean, they.
So what do you do in those situations?
Slow down. Slow down.
You look ahead.
Yeah, so we'll just slow down and make sure I'm balanced. So when I slow down, I don't tip over, and the bike goes where I want it to go.
What else we got on here?
Let's see. Wasn't Quinn the only finisher at last KM? Yes, that was true.
He's a bad
dude. This is Nar. Remember Dave Nar?
Yeah.
That's Dave from Enriquez. Yo, Jimmy. You, Jimmy. Yo, you meant to say yo, right, Dave? Yo. He has the Nar stickers. You probably had one tagged on your car. Passport needed for medical eval out of a foreign country. It's needed to get into the country in the first place, but yeah, it helps when we don't ever want to talk about that. Andrew, why did you transition to rally? Did you change your workouts between rally and motocross?
Yeah, I just changed to rally because it was the ultimate adventure, and I was tired of. I wasn't tired, but I'd done Supercross and motocross enough for so many years that I was ready for something else, and rally was the perfect.
You're addicted to riding.
Yeah, no, I love riding and trail riding, and then once I discovered rally, it was the ultimate of all that. So I'm hooked, and yeah, and my workouts, yeah, I was so burnt out on riding my bicycle a certain time and quantity and everything for that with rally, I just try to ride my motorcycle as much as possible and have as much fun with it and try to be able to adapt to many different situations, whether it's sand, whatever, and just be ready on all different things. So if I feel like riding my bicycle to train, I do. If I feel like working out, in the gym, I go do that. If I feel like doing long motos, I do that. Or I work on sprints.
there's
Every
no-
day is different.
Yeah, there's not like a super regiment
No.
plan. And I think that's the way rallies are. You don't, you go to a rally in
That's the beauty
South
of it.
America is different than a rally is going to be in
Yeah.
Mongolia. And
Yeah.
you're just riding, you just got to ride your motorcycle and do what the map book says.
Yeah.
Did you get tired today?
I was more tired when we started, left over from yesterday. And I don't know if it was just because caffeine hadn't kicked in yet or what, but I hooked a left when I was supposed to hook a right because the waypoint, I went towards the waypoint. And
Kind of like how I rode out of the gas station?
yeah, exactly. So, but after that, I felt good.
Yeah.
But sometimes, yeah, with rally, you deal with things differently. So sometimes your
Moods.
body's really tired and just fried, and other days it's fine.
Yeah, it's it's interesting because I think physically, I mean, on Dakar, you guys are pushing it hard. I mean, it's crazy how fast you guys are pushing it. You're like physically tired at the end of stages, right?
Oh, yeah, you're more like emotionally or mentally tired than physically sometimes.
Yeah, I always found that, like, especially in Baja racing, like people,
Yeah.
you get tired, and I'm like, my head
Yeah.
is done. But there was days in rallies where you would see how long the stages were, and you almost had to plan. Like, I'm going to push today and get tired today so I can rest tomorrow. And
It's the cumulative effect.
Yeah.
It just happens over the whole event, from travel to no sleep, from re-robook and whatnot.
Andrew, does your head go during long days on the pegs during the rallies? Do you sing or talk to yourself? I bet you Ricky sings.
Yeah, or some people put in like headphones.
Yeah, do you have earbuds jamming the tunes?
Yeah.
Do you ever find your mind drifting off the present?
No, like lots of people put in like some tunes and go, but we're always paying attention to the speed. And I don't want to get a speeding penalty. For one, you have to pay a fine. Two, it's time. But like Laya, she can sit. We have a thing, it beeps at you when you're getting close to the
speed zone.
Yeah, the speed zone. And they have their headphones in, and they can still just sit there right at the limit. And for me to follow Laya, I always go over, and like I'll get a penalty. But she can sit there the whole time, and she's jamming out the music the whole time. So I don't have that. Maybe I think it's chicks. You know how they can do two things at once. I'm just
One thing at a time.
Yeah, I'm just a normal guy. So I just sit there and think about whatever.
I was actually had music in my ears the other day when I was riding, and I can't concentrate. I mean, even just on the terrain, like if I'm just cruising, no problem. But if I'm actually like thinking hard, like that music, if it's almost like if the rhythm isn't right for the way I'm riding.
But I think that's the objective, right? Like if you have 6 hours to commute, you put in some tunes.
On a transfer.
Yeah, on the transfer.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody races with anything.
Oh no, I think that yeah. On the transfers for sure. I would. Let's see. Andrew needs to take the class. No, he doesn't. Andrew could teach me a few things. Andrew needs to take it. See, everybody's telling you need to come take my class.
I take the Jenny Lewis class.
Yeah, he does. But I actually my whole class with Andrew's just fucking with him. I make road books, and every time they come back and they don't realize they're learning a lesson, like, Jimmy, you're fucking with me. Should have said that out loud, the bad word. But anyways, it's like I always believe in experiential learning, and you have to put you in that situation. You have to manifest the situation. And these guys are so good now. I can't really screw with them anymore because they know all the tricks. And now it's more about like really seeing when they make a mistake, how they correct it, and trying to maybe improve on that or
clean it up or react quicker.
Yeah, react quicker.
At this point, it's repetition, and you figure it out.
It's just like doing motos. It's like doing your motos. And now but unfortunately, a moto is 270. How many do you do? 270K of road book.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a moto. Just one.
Doesn't matter.
Somebody that said that's the wrong guest. No, Dennis. Wait, what? I don't even know what you're replying to. Let's see. Dennis, everybody's trying to take. I probably sold a couple spots in my class. Let's see. Great answer, Jimmy, and funny. Need to take your class. Yes, good. See. And George is sitting next to me, but he felt the need to text me. You have 62 new comments. Hold on, crap. Second here. Let's see. Did anyone bring up Saudi Arabia? Are you guys protecting any new engine and bike setup opposed to South America? So let's say Saudi Arabia. That's where the Dakar is going to be for the next 5 years, allegedly. I've heard you talk about it before, and we've talked about it, and I feel that it's for the sport, for the sporting aspect of the event and stuff. The fact that we're back to desert that nobody has really home turf advantage on. They have a new director at ASO, and I think that the rally could get really good, and especially some of the changes they're implementing. Seems like it's going in a very positive direction.
Yeah.
And as far as the country and stuff goes, I don't know. I haven't been there.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard very polar on both sides of it and stuff.
I
But
think you
it'll
can
be
form your own opinion on the politics, and that's besides the point. But the sporting aspect,
because you guys are going there to have a race,
Yeah.
and we all want to see a really good, awesome race.
Yeah, and for me to comment on that other stuff, I think isn't for me to say. But in terms of the race going there, nobody has an advantage. I think that's great as a racer because nobody knows the terrain. So
Yeah.
we all kind of know what it's similar to. But in terms of bike setup, whether it's motor or suspension, I think it looks kind of similar to what we race in Morocco. It has a lot of mountain passes, stony terrain the first week, and then a lot of sand the second week. So
Will you
for
guys?
us, I think it'll be really similar to South America, but I think the biggest difference is people just aren't familiar with the terrain.
You haven't raced 5
It's
years.
fair
in
for
rally,
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have no experience. Whether that day, no one knows. Well, we were here 2 years ago and we ran this tire, so I know it will last for 200K. So we're going to run this tire.
Yeah.
No one knows. You know.
Do you change your setup between like sand days and Sony Mountain Pass days?
Yeah. For me, yeah, and big difference in rally would be tires, because if it's stony, then the tire's not going to last all day. And I think the other thing too for me, like sand, I try to preload my forks, get them to stay up a little bit in the front end. That seems just a little bit of comfort and reserve in that aspect. Yeah, and there's little things here and there, but for the most part, it's more just suspension and setup.
Yeah, but your motor stays the same most of the time.
I've gone up a tooth or two just so I'm not shifting all the time. You know, it'll help keep it in the power the whole time, and so I'm not in between gears.
Yeah.
I feel like with the sand, depending on the humidity, how soft they are, how hot it's been, whatnot, but gearing sometimes changes as well.
Yeah, that's and then coming from the motocross side, you guys used to do tons of testing.
Yeah.
And now you do a ton of testing on the rally bike. Which,
Yeah, not so much. I feel like it's just like
compared to motocross, it's not nearly as much.
Yeah, and it's always about just basically reliability, how to improve upon the part. You know, that's typically what it consists of.
Yeah, and
The performance side isn't so important as reliability and just having a bike that works good in all general areas.
Yeah. And let's see. Marco wants to know if you know Chaz, the pro snowboarder that rides a Rockstar.
Unfortunately, I don't, but he has to be a bad dude if you snowboard for Rockstar.
Yeah, let's see. Are they going to be using camel toe air filters in Saudi Arabia? Is that a joke, or is that a name? Is that a name of something like that? Let's see. Okay, we got a lot of tests and stuff there. How are we doing here? Wow, we've burnt up almost 50 minutes. That's not too bad. I told you it wasn't going to be that long.
Yeah.
What was the question I wanted to? I didn't want to. What was the question that somebody? If I had my phone, I could answer the question because someone.
I want to know what you carry on your adventure. This guy with the 1190. Like, adventure bike riding seems like fun, but what do you carry on your adventure bike?
Like
tools. Like, what do you keep in your bag?
I always have.
You always carry a tube.
Yeah, so I always have something to repair a flat tire, which generally consists of a front tube, a small little compressor.
And tell people why you only carry a front.
Because the front works in the front or the rear. And I run tubes in most of my adventure bikes. I mean,
what kind of tubes?
A heavy duty front.
Like
Kenda.
ultra heavy duty?
No, not
or
ultra. Just regular heavy duty. Not ultra.
You're a Kenda guy.
Kenda guy. Yeah, Kendas. So they support my schools completely. Everything else is wide open. I'll run anything. But so Kenda regular, like not light, but the heavy tube. I run it's Best Rest Products makes this like bomb proof little pump.
Like an inflator that you plug into the
cigarette lighter or clip on the battery. And because sometimes, you know, it's better than pumping, you know, and it's the bike's already heavy, so I can add a little bit of weight. And then I'll carry, you know, the tire irons the Motion Pro bead breaker tire irons is what I usually carry.
How many?
2. Yeah, you can do it with 2, and sometimes 3 if I use the Motion Pro ones. It's the axle wrench also.
Yeah.
So then I'll have 3 tire irons. But I carry that stuff specifically. Then I carry some little kind of Motion Pro tool packs. These little zipper ones that have.
How are those better than the KTM one that comes with your bike?
So the KTM kit is awesome.
How's the Motion Pro one better?
Because they're tiny. They're little things. So you have an 8, 10, 12. You have a set of sockets, and you have this little doohickey wrench. We did it on dirt bike test. We have a test on what's the thing called? MP Tool is what it's called. So Brandon, you should call me back, by the way, one of these days.
Where do you keep all this stuff in?
One of the panniers.
Oh, yeah.
Like the pannier, that's French for this bag that hangs on the side of my bike.
What kind of bag? Giant Loop,
Wolfman.
Wolfman.
Yeah, Wolfman ones most of the time. I have some Giant Loop ones, but currently I'm running Wolfman soft bags. But I have TourTech hard bags, and it depends on whether I'm going camping. If I go camping, I put this.
The hard bags scare me. Like George has a hard bag.
Tip fib, right?
I guess.
When they chase your leg down, when you take your legs off when you're in the sand because you're scared. Yeah.
The soft bags don't look as cool, but they seem more practical.
Yeah. It just depends on what you're doing. You know, it's like the hard bags are better for stacking stuff on top.
Security, you can't get your stuff stolen as easy, I think.
Yeah, you can lock it a little bit.
Mm.
So it's a mix, but it just depends on what I'm doing on the bike. You know what I carry, but it's always mostly just for tire problems. That's really the only thing that's going to super strand you that can be kind of fixed. But like if you're going to break a chain, I don't like.
You ever carry gas or anything with you?
I have a Camel ADV extra tank. It's on the side, so I got plenty of range.
Mm.
Yeah, I got a lot of range. Let's see, we got a couple other questions that kind of came in here. Somebody said I carry a mountain bike on my adventure bike. I do that. I've done that too. Let's see. Jesse says he uses a 60. Can't get his 606 off with a tire iron. What? Rode those bikes, man. Wait, hold on a second. Sitting down, both feet out in the sand. Heard that advice from a good source. Yeah, right. Andrew. Yeah, when you do that and it works, you thank Andrew, and then he'll have that technique. He'll have a video of it.
If you're on an adventure bike, you're a Honda Africa Twin, and you're riding through the sand, would you stand up neutral, or would you sit down, put the rudders out, and just go? Wah.
In the sand?
Yeah.
I would just try my best to stay on the bike without putting rudders out.
Well, yeah,
there you go.
That's the first thing.
We have 2 of the best.
But you're talking about if a situation comes up.
Yeah.
Oh, you're dog paddling.
Yeah.
Sure.
What? Right?
You're dog paddling.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Jimmy puts all of his videos without saddlebags.
You do look pro when I see you on your videos in the sand. I'm like, dang, you got some skills in the sand. Because for sure I can't do that.
Because you gotta slow down. If you slow.
Here's the thing. If you practice it all the time like you do, and you're familiar with it, you have the balance point.
No,
you have all that.
You have everybody that gets up in the morning and steps out of their bed and they walk. They have the balance to
So if this dude goes to the dunes or the sand and
100
practices
times,
and he stays neutral, he'll look like Jimmy Lewis.
He'll learn it pretty soon. Yeah.
But if he doesn't, he's going to look like Andrew Short and Ricky Brayback.
A majority of the guys,
we're going adventure bike riding.
A majority of the guys are going to dog paddle for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. That's
not all of them are.
But he was asking for technique. Would you stand up or you sit down?
For sure, you always try to stand up, but dude,
there we go. Right on.
If the front tucks, you're going to sit down.
Yeah.
If the front knives,
reserve. That's a safety maneuver. So when your feet come off the pegs and you sit down, that's because something's going wrong, and that's a last ditch effort to save it. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. There we go.
You're talking to 2 millennials. Remember that.
I'm explaining their techniques. No, these guys, they're some of the best riders.
You want to know a really good technique? Don't buy an adventure bike.
No. Buy
a 450L.
Yeah, buy an Africa. When's the 450L rally coming out, Ricky?
I don't know.
And all of a sudden he's quiet. Okay, we didn't hear that out loud. Right? Let's see. Shorty, what tires are you using on your rally bike?
I use Michelin.
Paddle tires.
Desert race.
Yeah.
We actually have one good one for the sand, but for like here, I always ride the desert just because it lasts long and has good performance.
Yeah. And you did not put a new tire on your bike for tomorrow?
No, I'm going
Yeah.
on day 3.
You're going day 3, marathon
He's gonna be
stage.
skating like we did that
Marathon
400K road book, like
Yeah.
me. Skating.
What bikes use 450 FE or 450 SX? I think he's asking what bike you're using. Well, when you're on a factory rally bike right now.
Yeah, but
What do you-
normally I ride a FX at home.
Yep. So FX for training for the works and
Which
stuff
is-
like that.
Yeah, pretty similar to
Um,
like the motocross bike, just 18-inch tire, bigger tank, and yeah.
Hey, Victor, just get us some popsicles, and then we'll grease the hinges on the doors. Victor is a guy who comes out the King of the Motos, and
Yeah.
he has a popsicle company.
Yeah.
He makes the most awesome juice popsicles, and
Victor sounds like a good dude.
yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, he
We could have
wants-
used him today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Victor. Yeah.
Meet us at Needles.
So let's see. The open end wrenches on the KTM kit sucks. Round off the nuts. Okay, then replace them with some good Harbor Freight
They're
ones.
better than nothing when
Yeah.
you're out there.
Speaking of
broken up.
performance, if the main focus for the bike is reliability, the rider has to make the difference. Where and when do you attack? What are you looking at in terms of opportunity? Is there any strategy in a stage and when you're doing what? How hard is it to attack early or late in the day race? General strategy stuff.
Yeah, I think this guy is on the tip of like exactly what he's talking about. Is you have to
That's
be.
Rally life.
That's rally life. That's what's so cool about it. You have to be ready to read the situation and be ready to go. Like for Ricky, during Dakar, his strategy would be completely different than mine or even my teammates, you know? So they're like on 2 different strategies. So one day Ricky's trying to push and make up time and then he'd be ahead. So then the next day my teammate, his theory and strategy was he was thinking he's on a good day, so he would try to make up more time than what Ricky made up the day before, and it's just cat and mouse.
And on a
all the
race
time.
that's long, like some days you wake up and it's your day to push, and you
Yeah.
go, I'm not having a good day.
Yeah, or
you
everybody gets lost, or
you have everything's going great, and then all of a sudden
you have to be super fluid, and
Yeah.
that's the best part about rally.
yeah.
You never know what's going to happen, and
Yeah.
that's what's so cool.
That's
You
what's
always
cool
have
about it, yeah.
opportunity. Like when you think it's over, things could just get flipped upside down, and it's you just have to make do with what you have. So it's really cool. That's the best part about rally.
Let's see. They're saying Ricky. They're saying you wheelie in the sand dunes on adventure bikes. Let's
Dude,
see. I'm
You see like
wrong,
Chris
yeah.
Birch and those guys,
I want to have a contest with Chris Birch on adventure bikes. I remember that
dude,
time I beat you.
in the sand, yeah, you might beat him, but you're
I'll
not going to beat
I'll
him
beat
on
him.
the other
I'll
stuff.
do a third gear start and beat him. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So let's talk. That's funny. So Andrew was famous in motocross because you like invented the third gear start almost.
I didn't invent it.
Oh,
I've
come
been doing
on.
it forever.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was-
had it down.
You had it down, and in that your bike was geared properly, and you had a special ignition
was
tune
set
for
up.
that. It was set up to make that start, and it worked. Awesome.
It was
'Cause
like
you were like-
redneck engineering.
You were the king of hole shots
Yeah.
for a while. It was like everybody knew you were a hole shot, and then the media caught on to it, and
Yeah.
and it went kind of so Andrew was at a KTM Adventure Rider rally, and I challenged him to do a third gear start, except we couldn't touch the throttle because this is
It's like impossible.
I turned well. You just have to slip the clutch a long time.
Ah.
Yeah, because that's what you did when you
Key
did.
to third gear starts. Hold the throttle
Wide
wide
open.
open.
Yeah,
Put it in third and dump that clutch.
yeah, but your clutch is tuned.
Yeah, you
your
get the
clutch
feeling.
your clutch was tuned for that, right?
No, I just learned. It was a
You-
lot of practice.
Yeah, like everything, a lot of practice. So, anyways, I beat Andrew at a third gear start on adventure bikes because you couldn't use the throttle.
He loved it.
He didn't know what he was getting into. It was just like a joke that Mark Hyde and I came up with at the beginning of the thing. So, okay, I think that's we've definitely gone over for a few minutes here. Stunt, you can't reach. What? You can't reach the ground. You're stubby. Stubby.
You can't reach the ground here.
Well, then you can stick
Well,
your
for
legs
sure
all
you can
you
put
want.
the rudders out then.
Yeah, because they don't touch the ground. Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for chiming in. Good times. I want to thank Andrew for actually. It's really I tortured
You did
him
not.
into showing up for this. I've made Ricky do it before, so it's kind of awesome to have high level guys that are kind of at the peak of what they're doing join us for Tech Talk. If you have questions for Tech Talk, remember you can put them in the comments here. when this video goes up on YouTube, you can ask there. We'll try to get them back, and one of these days I'll sucker these guys into coming back, and we'll do some more bench racing. But thanks a lot, and hopefully we'll see you guys out on the trail. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
See you later.
Okay.